Hi, I wanted to show you a quick sneak peek of the brand new second grade editing and revising student workbook. This book is different from all of my other books. It is specifically going to break down each of the TEKs into grammar skills practice. So let's take a look inside. It is going to have lots of pages that kind of tell you all about the teaks. These are the editing teaks right here. These are the revising teaks over here, the 3 revising teaks, and these are the editing teaks. And so it is going to break down into 21 editing skills. So I took those teaks and I broke them down even further into 21 manageable skills to teach throughout the year. And each one, I'm going to show you what it looks like, but each one is going to have a learn page with notes to teach that skill, sentence practice where the students can actually apply that grammar skill while writing sentences. Then it's going to have a little short passage that answers editing questions that go with the teaks. And then it has 7 revising. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you. This is the table of contents. So as you can see, some are even broken into part A and part B. So punctuation and contractions are broken into 2 separate lessons with 2 separate sentence practice, but they share the same paragraph with the 6 multiple choice questions because it would be pretty hard to write a passage that only does end punctuation. So that's why I added contractions with that. So you're going to see it goes in order of basically, I looked at districts that follow TEKS resource. I looked at several different districts to see their pacing guide for editing. And I basically did it in a way that makes sense for the teacher. You are also welcome to skip around and make sure that it's matching your district curriculum. You're going to notice that I did put spelling all towards the end, but you can mix that in however it works best for you. But that is how I did the spelling rules. Then it's going to get into revising. And for second grade, I didn't put a ton of revising. I focused more on the editing. However, the revising that I put in is really going to prepare them for third grade because it has word choice, adding in more specific words. It has synonyms, antonyms. It has paragraphs that are missing details and how they can elaborate on those. It has off topic sentences, getting rid of repetition, correcting out of order words and out of order sentences. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple examples of how the editing looks. So this one in particular is capitalization. So this is the learn page that you're looking at. And that is something that the kids can use as a reference page when they are writing in class. They can refer to these workbook pages. There's a little anchor chart on capitalization. And then there is some sentence practice. And the way I did this is the first 4 sentences are going to be a little easier. This one, for example, they just have to find the mistake with capitalization and rewrite the sentence correctly on the lines in the boxes. This one gets a little harder. The next 4 sentences, they have to write authentic, original sentences. This is where, in my experience, the grammar really sticks when they are writing their own sentences with the name of a person, the name of a place capitalized. And this is where the teacher really needs to give feedback and be checking these sentences before they move on to the next part, which is going to be a social studies or science integrated cross-curricular passage with multiple choice questions. And the difference is if you look at the third grade all the way up to 8th grade, those are going to look more like STAR, where A, B, C, and D are all spiraled skills. The difference is the second grade book, A, B, C, and D are all on capitalization. So this is really, really honing in on that one specific skill within that one specific TEK. So there's going to be 6 multiple choice questions. And then there is an answer key at the back. Obviously, for the sentences, some of those are going to be answers may vary, but if it has a specific correction, it will have an answer key at the back of the book. And so it goes through each of these is a learn page, then it goes through the sentences, and then again, this one is a double lesson. So 2B is going to be contractions. Then they practice writing contractions. They practice writing sentences with contractions. And then this is the passage that goes with those 6 questions. All right, so now I'm going to skip and show you some of the revising. Okay, here is the revising. So I added that page from the table of contents again, just so you could see what the revising is going to cover. There's some anchor charts here, and then it gets into it. So this one is all about word choice, specifically with pronouns. And it starts off a little easy where the students are just making sure that the pronoun matches the correct noun in the sentence. Okay, that is what the sentence practice looks like. The next one is getting rid of boring or general or vague words and replacing those with more specific word choice. So for this one, they have a word bank. That's a scaffold for second grade, but they are having to find what word would go with big. The tiger is big. How could I make that a better sentence? So first, they are just focusing on word choice. And then later, and then here is the multiple choice practice, also with word choice. And then it is going to get into synonyms and antonyms, where they have to replace it with a synonym. This one, they have to replace it with an antonym. And they answer the multiple choice questions with synonyms and antonyms. This one gets more into elaborating, so I'm going to show you this one. This one, they have a sentence, and they are learning how to add details that will describe the girl and who she is with. So it kind of gives them the sentence stem, but then they need to go in and make it a complete sentence. So things like the cat sat by the window because, and so you're asking them, why did the cat sit by the window? So it has those questions and those sentence stems to get them thinking, but they have to learn how to add to their sentence that I'm giving them and learning how to elaborate. And so all of these are going to focus on a specific question rather than giving them all the questions. And then the multiple choice is going to choose the best sentence that has the most elaboration and also makes sense. So that is the revising. And then at the very back, there is a answer key. So I hope you like the sneak peek, and I hope you enjoy these lessons, doing these with your kids. And I hope they help. Thanks so much. Bye.